Hey everyone, it's David Chattel here for the latest installment of Total Market Talk. I am pleased today to have a very special guest, Sharlene Taule. Sharlene is a singer, actress, composer, and writer, a quadruple threat, if you will, and very pleased to have her on the show. We're going to be talking a lot about what she does in each of those areas. And for those of you who haven't heard of her, you're meeting her here first. Sharlene, please take it away and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Sharlene Taule. So happy to be here sharing a little bit of my journey and my work with you guys. Acting, singing, writing, a little bit of everything. I hope you really have fun with me because I'm planning to have a lot of fun with you.
So Sharlene, I'd like to start from the beginning because you have a very interesting background. I'd like you to talk to our audience a bit about your upbringing in the Dominican Republic and how that led you ultimately to who you are today, and then we'll get more into your career, of course, after that.
Okay, so I'm a complete Dominicana, born and raised, which I'm very thankful for because I love my country. And, you know, that just has kept me grounded because I'm very close to my family. And for me, it was important just to grow around them and just experience family and roots the way I did. I think it's a major influence on what I'm doing today. And without their support and their upbringing, I don't know where I'd be. I'm very attached to my family, speak to them daily. And it was a lot of fun growing up in the Dominican Republic. A lot of people ask me when they meet me, but wait, how do you speak English if you were brought up there? And it's interesting because people don't know how we have really good schools, bilingual schools that just teach you how to speak proper English. And a lot of people are like, what? I can't believe that, but yeah.
Very cool. So tell me how this little girl from Dominican Republic with big dreams ended up coming here to New York City, the city of dreams, and getting accepted into the famous Lee Strasberg School of Acting.
So when I grew up, I loved watching Shirley Temple. She was like my favorite thing ever, even if it was black and white. But yeah, that's what I grew up with. And I knew from the get-go that I wanted to sing, that I wanted to dance, that I wanted to act. I also grew up singing Natalie Cole. I mean, weird influences for a little girl, but that's what my parents had in the house. So that's what I fed off. And of course, I wasn't rich. It's not like going to Strasberg was a possibility for me at the moment when I was growing up. But as soon as I could work, I started working. And when I booked my first international gig, that was a film called Flucht aus Santo Domingo, which was a Deutsch film. And then they took me to Germany to shoot some episodes of a series called Soko Leipzig, based on my character of this film. I earned enough money so that I could go to New York and study at Lee Strasberg. So that's what I did.
Okay, so we're going to get right into it. I was going to wait until later to talk about you acting in German, because some people might be like, wait a minute, her first acting gig was in German. Talk about how, I'll say it, Soko Leipzig came to, and you actually didn't speak any German.
No.
And you made this happen. We'll get into you acting in English eventually, and of course Spanish. But let's start with German, please.
Okay, so I remember getting the call for this audition. And at the moment I was playing the lead for a movie, so I had like very little time available. I was doing that, and I was also doing a musical play. So for me, it was like, oh God. And it's all in Deutsch. How the hell am I gonna do this? So I sat down with the casting director. She spoke Deutsch, and she told me how to pronounce the lines. She went over it with me, and she's like, oh, you say this. But she did this with every actress that was going for the role. But I tend to have a very good ear because of my music, I don't know, abilities. And so I listened very carefully, but when I went in the room, my my first goal was not to pronounce everything perfectly, actually. I said to myself, every other actress is going to be focusing themselves on the pronunciation because it's new for us. We don't speak Deutsch. But I want to focus on the acting because for me, it's more important for them to see my abilities as an actress because I can have time to learn lines later. But it was so funny because I focused so much on the acting that the accent came in naturally. And like, I wasn't really worried about how I was pronouncing things. But as soon as I finished, the director was like, oh, perfect, she speaks Deutsch. And I'm like, what? No, I don't. But he liked the acting and I got casted for it. But at the beginning, he had an issue with me because he said I was, oh, let's pull my headphones off. Wait, guys, I get excited like that. Okay.
That's okay.
So the director was like, but you're too young for this role. I mean, it's not exactly what we're looking for. And we were looking for a Dominican girl that's darker skinned, you know, curlier hair. Like, what do you expect of a Dominican? And I have, my background is really French, so I have a mix. I'm not, you know, you're 100% looking Dominican. And I was like, you know what? I'm still very ecstatic for you guys. And I fought for that character. I remember telling him, this character comes out as evil, but then she makes so many mistakes, and then you need the audience to forgive her, and then she falls in love with your main character. You know, I think her being young plays in the favor of this character. And he thought about it, and it made sense to him. And they casted me, and that was amazing. So while we're shooting this film, I remember he told me, you know what? If I were you, I'd start studying Deutsch because I know your character is going to make an impact over there, and they're going to want to bring you back. And immediately, I mean, I started studying really hard. And in 3 months, I was in Germany shooting the series, fending for myself all alone, ordering food in restaurants. And I was so proud of myself for being able to do that.
Okay, so now that we've heard so much about you acting in German to get your start, I think everyone looking on needs to see a clip. So check it out.
Ich war in der Nacht überhaupt nicht in der Pension.
Es ist also nichts passiert?
Nichts passiert.
Alles klar, yeah? Very good. Anyway, that's the most German I have. That was awesome. Very, very cool stuff. Thanks for sharing that.
Okay, so this story is also very weird, I would say. I have a bunch of weird stories. I was actually in Miami for the weekend only, like with a very small bag. And I was looking into searching for opportunities, and I was meeting with the person I was interested in having as a manager over there, which was Luis Luyando in Miami. So in this first meeting, we talk about what my interests are and what the plans would be. And he's like, you know, you're here. Since you're here, there's this audition for this Nickelodeon show, Grachi, and I think you should go. And I was like, but aren't they casting like 12-year-olds? Like, I don't see myself there. And he's like, what? You look so young. You should go. And I was like, oh, okay, then. I didn't have any clothes for that. So I remember I went to Baby Gap, swear to God. And I'm tiny, I'm petite. So, and I thought like they were looking for very young people. So I was like, I went to Baby Gap, got my clothes, went to this audition. I remember my audition time was 10 a.m. And I went in, I acted, I sang. They liked it, I guess, and they told me not to leave. And they held me there for like till 8 p.m. And when they hold you, you know it's good, because then they went like, okay, let's see you with the pictures with the lead, pictures with this, let's see that. And, you know, it went well, but you're still not sure what's going to happen. So what happened was that they gave my manager a call. They're like, we want her for the show for one of the Panthers. And so he called me back and he's like, Sharlene, you don't have papers to work here, but they want you, so you can't leave. We need to start your paperwork like now. And I'm like, what? I came for a weekend. And I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I need you to pack my stuff and send it over. I'm not coming back. I'm staying and I'm just going to work this. And she's like, oh, what? So that's how it all happened. Then I went and got my O1 visa. And I mean, yeah, it worked because we were in that show for 3 years. We did 3 seasons. We did live tours, you know, like it was like a musical theater thing based on our characters. And we toured all around Mexico and Argentina. And I know it was like I mean, it was amazing how it impacted so many people around the world, especially in Latin America. And for me, it was a very different role. This role was a lot of fun to play, a lot of physical comedy. And she was supposed to be evil, but all she was really was very desperate and funny. So for me, it was a lot of fun to do.
All right, so let's check out a clip of Sharlene in her breakout role as Katy in the Nickelodeon show from Latin America called Grachi. Check it out.
Mi baby Eduardito, ¿tú quieres comer algo? Bueno, no, sí, tienes toda la razón. Yo creo que primero tomamos algo y después comemos. Ay, bueno, sí. Ay, Dios. Ay, Doti, o sea, te vas a pasar todo el agua hablando con esa cosa verde. Pues sí, Katy. ¿Sabes que me la voy a pasar bailando, comiendo y hablando con mi super Eduardito? Ay, déjate mentir la TV, ya vas a ver. Estás arruinando todo el amor de la boda. Katy, ¿sabes qué es lo que pasa? Que tú eres una envidiosa y tú eres una delirante y tú eres una solterona.
Ya. ¿Dónde está Matilda?
No sé.
Wow, okay. I think we're up to 2 languages now. I know we're going to be talking about English next. That was very cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Well, as soon as I did Grachi, I was getting offers to do a bunch of stuff. And I got in to do Telemundo's Pasión Prohibida, which was a very nice story. Again, I was playing a villain, if you could say that, although I do end up being good. Again, I have a tendency to just turn those characters around and it works out. So, I mean, Pasión Prohibida was amazing. I had a great, I had the opportunity to work with a great cast and a great crew. I keep close friendships with some of them. Sadly enough, we lost one of ours, Monica Spear. She was murdered in Venezuela, which as soon as the soap ended, which was a real tragedy, and it affected all of us because she was very loved. And I mean, that still is like kind of a shock, but I still have so many friends from that show, and it did so well. I mean, I was really blessed to be in it. Like Brave Town is a project that's so close to my heart because I was in it from its creation. I mean, Oscar Torres, the writer, he had this idea about this movie he wanted to make. And he said, like, there's one Latina in it, and I think you should be it. So I was attached to the project from the first draft of the script. And I saw it evolve, and you know, at the beginning it was only me in the movie, but then they started attaching these amazing characters, like actors, and I was like, what? Laura Dern is gonna be in it? Are you kidding me? Josh Duhamel, Lucas Till, I mean, Maria Bello, what? And I'm hearing it. I couldn't believe it. Like, to be my first role in English and have this amazing cast around me, it's mind-blowing.
Let me just interject for those who are listening at home. So Brave Town, just to recap, was written by a Latino. It was actually also directed by a Latino director, Daniel Duran. The actual script had one Latino in it, played by Sharlene here. And then all of these really well-known actors were brought in to be a part of it. So it's just an interesting backstory. And just
You
worth.
know what? And I love when that happens, because I've had Americans shoot Dominican films, like Dominican stories. And I think it just brings something so fresh to a story when it's just like another point of view. Like when you're used to seeing something around you every single day, you kind of get numb to certain things. And when you come in fresh, you just pick on the smallest details that for us are just a given. And for me, that's what makes it interesting about this sort of crossover stories, or however we can try to call them. Like when somebody that's foreign tells these stories, it just brings a different flavor to it. And I think that's what happened with Breakdown. We were telling a very American story, but we tried to do it with a lot of respect. And I think that's why so many respected actors joined in the party. We shot in Canada, in a very small town, and we were all there. It was such a nice thing to just be working away from everybody, away from everything, just creating our small little world. And I learned so much. Even when I didn't have to be on set, I was on set because I wanted to see all these amazing actors do their thing and learn as much as I could from them. And for me, no school can teach that. So it was an amazing way for me to just suck it all in.
Awesome. You know what we'll probably do? I'll probably cut right now to a clip of you in Bravetown. How about that?
Okay.
Hopefully everyone can now visualize
Go for it.
what I'm talking about. All right, enjoy.
Hey, wait.
Yeah, look, I get it. She's not a bad person. She's just a control freak.
Please, just give it a chance. Whether she knows it or not, she needs you. We need you. This school, this town, is good for nothing but for training up future soldiers. We know it. Let's just accept it and life goes on. We may very well be the joke of the school, but we just want a shot at something different. We're just tired of losing.
Wow, that was awesome. If you haven't seen Bravetown, you definitely should go check it out.
Yes.
Absolutely. So we're going to shift gears now because Sharlene, you do a lot of different things. You're a singer, you're an actress, you're a composer, you're a writer. I've seen you dance in your music videos.
Mm-hmm.
Some might call you the Dominican J-Lo, if you will. I think I maybe just made that up. But you are a quadruple threat indeed. And when we think about someone like Jennifer Lopez, who killed it the other night on the American Music
Yes.
Awards, I want to hear about how someone like that impacts you and how you feel about someone like her who's been so successful in so many different areas, which is obviously something that mirrors what you're doing as well.
Yeah. Well, I completely love J-Lo's story. She's an amazing woman. She's been doing so much, and she's opening doors for all of us. For me to say Dominican J-Lo, that's a pretty big name. I don't want to fill nobody's shoes because I don't think that's even possible. But I do love about her that I think it's similar to me is that she doesn't do just one thing. And that's so interesting because a lot of people say, if you try to do too much, you're just going to fail at everything. And she's the proof that that's not true. The other day, somebody was asking me the same, why do you just go to do so many different things? Are you afraid everything's just going to fall apart? And I'm like, why? Honestly, I'm doing everything that I feel that I have to do and everything that's in my heart and in my passion. And I don't want to limit myself. I don't want to say no to myself. After all, what is success? I believe success is being happy. And the only way you're happy is when you're doing what you love. So I don't want to say, oh, I'm just an actress or I'm just a singer because I want to focus all my energy in it, because my energy doesn't just focus on one thing. My type of energy is all over the place all the time. So I have to embrace that, not say no to it. And I think J-Lo is a perfect example of that because she's done so much. She's a businesswoman, a singer, an actress. Anything she wants to be. And she's a powerful woman. And sometimes people see that as a threat. because this is a male-dominated world, especially in the entertainment business. And I've had to deal with it. And believe me, we deal with harassment every single day. We deal with doubt. We deal with closed doors. And we have to kick those doors down, because girls like J-Lo, girls like me, I would also say, don't give up. And it's so hard. So I admire what she's done. I applaud her journey, because I know it hasn't been easy. And a lot of people think it has, but it's not. For women, it's not. It's not easy at all. So whenever I see women striving, I support that. For me, those are just examples. And I want to see more women do that, especially more Latina women, because there aren't so many, especially if you go to the charts right now in Latin America. I mean, in the United States, we have a lot of more women dominating the charts, but in Latin America, we don't, because it just hasn't happened. And I want that to happen, because we have a voice and we are the #1 consumers. So we should be able to just, split it 50-50 at least. I used to spend a lot of time in Miami singing in houses and just jamming with my friends. And some of my friends happen to be in Florentino. People I just respect them so much. They're so talented. They are so amazing. And when I decided to do the first song for my album, I wanted to do a song of theirs called Mal de Amor. This song had been a ballad recorded 15 years ago. And I wanted to give it a Dominican kick, a Dominican flavor. And I was like, this would just sound so good in bachata, because most bachata songs are about a heartache, a heartbreak, mal de amor. So it was like, it just was a perfect match. So with Jasmine Marrufo, our producer, we just took this song to this new level. And I presented it to Servando and Florentino. And I'm like, guys, you want to join in with me in this one? How about it? And they were like, yes, we love it. And I was the first girl they recorded with. And this song did amazingly well. As you say, we have over 11 million views, which is crazy for it to be my first song. And in Venezuela, I mean, it was even in some stations, it was #1 for over 40 weeks. People love it. I recently was back in Venezuela and I sang it, and it was like, 40,000 people, the concert. And a friend of mine invited me to sing it, and people were just singing with me. And it was an amazing feeling. And that was my start. How about it? in the music business.
It's a great story. Why don't we take a minute to just look at a quick clip of Mal de Amor, been seen over 11 million times. Check it out.
My God.
Ay, 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 tu amor me enferma hasta ponerme tonta. Ay, 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 tu amor es mal de amor.
Ay, 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 tu amor me seca y me humedece el cuerpo. Ay, 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 tu amor es bien de amor.
When I started my singing career, I was not aware of the image I was putting out at all, because I was just being me. So when I was doing this show for Chica HTV, where they invited me to sing 4 of my songs, and as soon as I got down, the people, one of the girls from the production of HTV, she comes to me and she says, you know what? I love what you're doing, because you're not like any other girl out there. Like, most of them are trying to show their bodies, they're trying to be so sexy, but you're trying to be my friend. And I like that. And it just clicked. And I'm like, you know what? It is true. Like, I'm more of the quirky friend. And the other day, it was so funny because I was in a TV show and they were recognizing me for my work in Dominican Republic, and they brought in some of my friends to just hand me flowers and stuff. And one of my best friends, he's like, you know what, Shirley, you are like the hot friend we all have, but we just vibe so well with you. We never tried to do anything further. Like, and I was like, that is awesome, because I mean, I don't want to be seen as an object at all, because we're more than that as women. And I think actually that's the least we are. We are sisters, we're mothers, we're friends. We're not just lovers. That's not all we are at all. And I want people, if they can see that in me, well, then welcome. I'm here to be, if I could describe myself in one word, fun, basically. I think fun is sexy. Fun can be very sexy, but I don't want to play, oh, I'm the sexy girl. That's not me. I mean, I love my curves. I love my body. I love to shake it. I do, but that just comes from like a place from me that is just responsive to music, not because I'm responsive to getting male attention. That's not what I'm here for. I want to get their attention for other things.
Got it. You heard it here, folks. Fun is the new sexy.
It is.
Obviously, I think everyone gets your point. And we certainly, there's no shortage of the other type of content out there.
Oh, yeah.
It's refreshing to see someone like yourself, as talented as you, putting out a different message and a different vibe. I think it's great. So as I said up front, in addition to being a singer, an actress, a composer, you're also a writer. And many people might not know there's quite a few music videos out there. We'll maybe show a few clips that you actually conceptualized. Do you want to speak about that side of what you do?
So that's one of the sides I love the most. And it's so weird because it's like it's anonymous. You don't see my name anywhere, and I love it. But as I was talking about, when you're a creative being, you really need to have so much outlets, because you can't be still. Like, I won't sleep because I want to write something. I mean, it's like antsy, and it's just something that's part of you that you need to be creating all the time. And the first time I was asked to write for a music video, actually I wasn't even asked to write for it. I was just like, oh, you have that song and you need to do a music video? Let me write for it. What? I'll send you something. If you don't like it, you don't have to shoot it, but if you like it, shoot it. So like, that was the first time I wrote for a music video, and it came so naturally to me. Like for me, when I close my eyes and I hear a song, I generally see a story, or I generally see a place or a mood or something. And that's how I fell into this writing for music videos things, because it allows me to write short stories, because that's what they are, or short concepts. Because with my busy schedule, believe me, I don't have time to do anything longer than a 2-page thing, basically. And it allows me to write so many different things. So for me, that's a part I love about myself, which sometimes I don't have enough time to do, but I will make it happen at least once a week to write a story for a music video.
So of all the music videos that you have written, and there are many, I'm curious about the one you're most proud of, and one that we might want to just take a quick look at.
Okay, so you know, every video is so different, and what I try to do when I'm writing is for it to connect to the artist, to the song, and to the audience. That for me is like the key elements of a video. Not let's just do something crazy because we want to. No, it's not about that. It's a marketing piece after all, you know, and it depends a lot on what the words of the lyrics and everything, and the artist. But one video that I hold close to my heart, because it was personal in a way, is Tú Eres Perfecta by Oscarcito, because I got inspired on a true story. My eldest sister, Wendy, she got cancer, breast cancer, and you know, that's so scary, and that's a very tough moment for any woman to go through, especially when she didn't have a partner to help her through it. But as things turned out, while she was dealing with all this cancer stuff, she found love, and she found an amazing partner that supported her through all of this. And that's a very uncommon thing to see, because generally you see the husband that stays with the wife because they have been in love with her previous. to this illness. But falling in love in such a hard, like strong illness is not common, because I don't think either the person is looking for it, the person going through it, nor anybody could be scared, because you don't know what turn it's going to take. It's a scary situation. So I wrote that video based on that reality, and I think it's very touching, and it's very sweet to see it. So check it out. You're gonna like, just I left it just towards the end. At the end is that you realize that she has cancer. So yeah.
Got it. Well, let's check it out. Tu eres perfecta by Oscarcito, written by Sharlene Taule.
Yeah.
Check it out.
No hacen falta las cosquillas para reírnos de la vida, solo me hace falta tus mejillas, y al corazón para latir no le hace falta maquillaje.
Wow, terrific work, Sharlene. You do it all, as they say. And it's been great talking to you. And I'm curious, just as we wrap up here, and I'm looking, at what you're doing in social media. You have over 500,000 people following you across all these different platforms.
Yeah.
I'm curious about social media and how you've used it to connect with your fans, and how the importance that maybe it plays in your career. And just curious, in this digital world we're living in, your opinion on all this, and would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, well, yeah, social media is our biggest platform as artists. We can't deny that. And it's really cool to be in touch with the people who follow you, because it's like a direct connection to know what they like, what they don't. What do I need to give of myself to them? And it's important. Like I do check all my social medias daily, all my apps, and I respond as much as I can. Obviously, I can't answer to everyone. That would be not doing anything else the whole day. But as soon as I get a break, I do that. And I love to see where the love and the support is coming from. It's very beautiful. But as long as they're giving to you, you have to give to them. So it's a job. It's you gotta post all the time. You gotta post different things in different medias. So it's pretty hard to do it all. It's not easy. People think, oh, social media, oh, she's on Instagram again. But yeah, it's part of my work as I see it. A very nice part of my work, but still part of my work. And nowadays,
Sharlene, promise us, as your star continues to ascend, that you will never hire anyone to do your social media, please. It'll always be you, right?
Oh, it's always me. It's always me. I do have someone that alerts me, for example, because I may miss seeing certain things. And she will be like, oh, Sharlene, you got tweeted this. Oh, Sharlene, you got this inbox in your Facebook. And, oh, check this. Oh, they posted this of you. So she gives me that help, that maintenance. But I'm a real pain in the beat to work with, because I can't allow people to post for me. I can't allow people to, because it's so weird. Like, how do you know if I would have posted that and if I would have said those words? Like, you're not me. It's so hard. And I do want to keep doing it myself, but I do ask of people patience, because that means I cannot answer and reply to everyone. I really can't, even if I want to. And I'm going to miss things. Sometimes even my friends, like my real friends, might tweet something or send me a direct message, and I might miss it. I mean, come on, it's a lot of people. I can't do it all. Like, it's a lot of work, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy sharing a part of me that's more personal and private. Seeing how I'm at my car, in my house, nervous before a show, whatever, it's part of the journey. And it's really cool to be able to open yourself to people like that. We didn't have that chance with our idols before, so it's really cool to keep in touch. Oh yeah, just getting a visa, guys, believe me. It's not easy. Yeah. So much paperwork. Oh Jesus, and it's so expensive. Of course, I mean, they have it easier because they already have that platform that I had to struggle to get. They have it already there.
Yeah.
So they have they're a step closer to achieving the things that I have achieved. It took me longer.
Yeah.
It did. But still, my journey, I wouldn't trade that for nothing, because every single effort I've had to make is part of who I am today, and has just built me up and made me into what I believe a very strong woman. I don't take a no for an answer. I don't understand why people give up. I don't get that. What I want is to be happy, and happiness for me is linked to my work and to my personal success, which may not be everybody's interpretation of success. And for me, that's what's important. And I will probably end up living in an animal's sanctuary where they just rescue them all and keep them from being extinct in this world. And that for me will be success, as well as it is to be on a stage singing in front of 40,000 people.
I think that's a great place to end this conversation. Sharlene, it has been a pleasure having you, and wishing you all of the success. Before we sign off, do you want to tell people how to reach you online or through your website?
All right, so guys, you can hit me up at Sharlene Taule. It's you write it for them, because it's a weird name, so they might not get it. But yeah, I'm there in Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anything else they come up with, I'll be there, I swear.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sharlene. Best
Thank
of
you,
luck.
David.
Appreciate having you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure. And it's taken us forever to find this moment, but it is here, and we've just made the best of it. So thank you so much.